I went from being illegal to getting married to a man, of all things.
I think awareness has changed a great deal. When I was younger, people might sort of know someone who was gay, whereas nowadays I think a lot of people would say they have gay friends or gay family members or lesbian or LGBTQAA generally.
And to think in one person's lifetime, you could journey from, that kind of discrimination to that degree of acceptance. I think it's astonishing.
It's a lot more public now, being queer. There's a lot more of a tribe, which is really lovely. I think there was this horrible period in the middle where we were more obvious but also more attacked for being obvious, and now it's sort of seems to have come to a part where we're just part of the wider community.
Gays and lesbians really kind of consolidated the lead of the people that started the gay rights movements in the 70s, whereas I think now the trans community is probably in that same position as we were back in the 80s.
The letter of the law is better than it used to be. It doesn't necessarily mean the interpretation or the practice of the law is better than it was, but on the statutes, life looks pretty good for many of us.
Changes. So I have seen a lot more positive representation in media. I have seen legislation starting to change, which is amazing. The birth certificate reform was absolutely fantastic for the trans community. So we can now get identification that matches our identity, which makes a huge difference in somebody's life. And also the marriage equality debate was a challenging time, but what it did do was create conversations in every household.
The various identities in the LGBTIQAA+ community are owning their own space, as well as being collective and part of a large group community. And I think that's just awesome, because the acceptance and the acknowledgement and the celebration of the difference within our community is an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, even in the 10 years that I've been sort of, aware of this stuff and aware of how it related to me, I think that the people along the gender diversity spectrum have come to the forefront a lot more. Like I said, there was barely even any women lesbian relationships or anything in the media, and the odd gay relationship was always the subject of a tragic story, with gay men, or the gay best friend trope. And when it was that bad, even 10 years ago in the 2010s for me, or late 2000s for me, let alone any kind of trans representation. And it sort of exploded over the past few years, I guess. And, obviously trans people have always existed and will always exist, but they're just part of the conversation now in a way that they never were before. And I think it's really great.
Lots. There's been lots of changes, and for me, probably helpful as the community accepted more and more, that we're a diverse group of people.
Getting to see the marriage equality vote was amazing. I've got so many friends who are going to be having these amazing weddings now. Getting to see more freedom with having children and things like that. One of my friends has recently had a baby. A couple of them actually have had babies that are same-sex couples, and it just makes me so happy to see that.
More people who are straight supporting the LGBTQ+.
That a lot of people were more open and accepting than I thought.
Being bisexual previously was seen as attention seeking. It was, it was like I said previously, I was looking at things through a male gaze, and I didn't know why it was so scary to me. But it's nice now that there are so many safe, queer spaces?
The fact that more people are becoming more diverse and accepting.
I can be open in myself because I don't have to prove anything.